All right, folks, I'm Easter Sunday. I'm heading out by myself. Chad's spending this day with his family. I spent mine with mine yesterday for Easter and my dad's birthday. So we're gonna go take a look at what we've got out here. I want to make sure that I just give the right information. And some people have been blaming me for spreading, you know, negative stuff and everything else like that, but it needs to be brought to the attention. As I said before in my other video, I'm not a Debbie Downer by any means. I don't want the bay to go away, because to be honest with you, two of my businesses solely rely on this waterway. One is Tampa Bay Fishing Channel, and one is the kayak rental business. So, and then my other business, Roundabout Watercrafts, this could affect it also, because people buy my little round boats to go fishing in and enjoy the water. So I could have a triple whammy there. So I'm gonna go out and just check things myself and see what's going on. I've gotten some other reports from some other guides and things like that. So I want to make sure that I'm giving the truest kind of reporting that I can on this. So we're gonna go out, I'm gonna go try to find bait, I'm gonna go fish for a little bit, and then I'm gonna start snooping around and see what we see. So come along with me on this trip and let's see what we can find. Hopefully it's good. I want it to be good, trust me. I'm gonna give you everything that I see. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm not gonna make it more negative. So let's see what we can go and find. One good thing I just saw was there's bait getting crushed by Spanish mackerel and jack. So that's a good sign. I was glad to see that. It was kind of out in the middle of the bay, but that's a good sign. Real good sign. So the water temperature's dropped a little bit. It's down to 68.8. So I'm gonna go try the flats on the St. Pete side. See if I see any bait over there. I marked a little bit of bait on one of the markers, but sorry, big wave. But I didn't stop there because the wind and tide are going against each other and it's pretty choppy. So I wanted to go check the flats over here and see what we've got. All right, folks, I'm out on the flats on the St. Pete side, and I am catching bait. The water temperature is still a little low though, it's 66, so it's taking me a little bit to catch bait, but there is bait on the flats. The flats look good over here, which is a good sign. I'm gonna go and fish for a little bit. It's pretty rough out there, but I'm gonna take a little bit of time to go and fish, and then I'm gonna work my way up towards the Piney Point area, Piney Point Creek, Bishop's Harbor area, and see what we have up there. I just want to make sure that I want to fish first and then go and look. So stick with me. Like I said, we're catching bait on the flats. It's a little tougher because the water temperature's so low, but there was birds all over the flats this morning, which is a good sign over here at the St. Pete side. So let's get more bait, and we'll get over to the other side and start fishing. Now I can see a bunch of bait just out just a little bit, so I'm probably gonna have to throw my net out pretty good. But there's definitely bait here. I've been catching it. It's like I said, it's not been easy, but there's bait on the flats. The water over here looks really good, crystal clear, which is good. The wind's been blowing, so it's the rest of the bait looks like chocolate milk right now, but it looks good over here. So let's see what we can find. I'm pretty much done catching bait on the flats. I didn't want to get too much because I'm not going to be out here for a long period of time. So I only got a quarter bucket full for chum, and I got, you know, probably 7 or 8 dozen white bait and about the same in pinfish. So I'm going to see what I can do. But there's something on the St. Pete side that I've noticed this year for the first time ever of catching bait over here for more than a few years, is this weed. It's right on top of the regular weeds, and it's pretty nasty. but it's loaded. It's all on top of the weeds down below, and it's not pretty. So so I don't know if that's from the sewage spills that they've had over here or what, but I mean, at least the water is clean, so it's not horrible. It's dirty from the wind, I can tell you that, but if it wasn't so windy, where I'm sitting in about 2.5 to 3 feet of water, and it's pretty clear. So anyway, I'm gonna go out and try to catch some fish, and then we're gonna work our way over to closer to the spill area and see what's going on over there. Fingers crossed everything's okay, but we'll see. All right, folks, what's nice, I was able to get on some thread fins. So I've got actually 4 different types of bait. I've got pinfish, I've got white bait, I've got thread fins, and I've got pumpkin seeds. This is a pumpkin seed right here. That thing right there. Grouper love them. So let's go and fish and see what happens. There's bait around. The water is dirty, I'll tell you that right now, but it's not anything, I don't think, from that. It's dirty from the wind. It's been blowing from the east-northeast for the last 3 days, 15 to 25 miles an hour. So the water's churned up. I don't smell anything where I'm at. I'm about maybe 3 miles from the port, if that. So we're gonna run in that general vicinity and just check it out, grouper and snapper wise. And then once I'm done fishing and getting some video on that, I'll cruise up to Piney Point and Port Manatee and Piney Point Creek and see what we have up there. All right, folks, as you can see, I'm not too far from the port, so I'm marking some really good fish here. I'm going to drop down, see what we can get. I'm going to use cut bait first, and then go to live bait if I have to. Live bait's swimming really good. Tide's coming in, wind's going out. So we're going to see how we can get set up on this. I'm just getting my boat where I think I need to be set up, and then dropping down. So let's see what we can do. But first, I want to show you a new product that we got. We got a brand new bait cutter, and it's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and show you. Now watch carefully. Oh, right into the bucket. Frank, good job, buddy. I'm looking forward to selling a lot of these. We'll have them on sale this week on our website. So make sure that you go and check it out at tampabayfishingchannel.com. Now, the boat is completely situated way differently than I thought it was. So I'm gonna go over that here in just a second. Okay, now that I know the wind is stronger than the tide, we're sitting at about 80 to 85 on the compass, as you can see there. You can see where the ledge is off to my right. So I'm gonna adjust the boat with the trolling motor and see if I can't get on the spot. But this allows me to understand now that I'm set up. Sometimes I'll do exactly this. If I know that the wind and tide are going against each other, it's gonna throw me for a little bit of a loop. So I gotta go and get the boat adjusted when I get a good heading. So now that I know my heading, I'm gonna go on the spot and see what we can do. The other cool thing about this new bait cutter is that it attaches to the top of the bucket, so you can take it off and clean it. Fits just like that, and you're ready to go. I'm really excited about this product. When he brought it to me, I was like, oh my God, yes, 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 yes. And if you're gonna ask if the old ones are adaptable to this, unfortunately, no, they're not. I'm sorry, but they're not. They're built differently. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to fish and see what we can get. Good sign, good sign. It's nice and healthy. Hit it like a freight train. Caught that one on the Huggy Jig on a piece of cut thread fin. Okay, so I was able to take and understand my heading of where I wanted to be after I got set up the first time. I really just set up just to see what the boat was going to do. The boat completely did a 360 and or 180 and was facing the direction I did not think it was going to face, but I did not realize that the wind was going to be a little bit stronger than the tide. So what I did is, once I got my heading, I got back into the position and first bait down, boom, gag grouper. So let's see what we can do. Well, that first spot I caught one gag and then I had another hit and that was about it. And then the boat shifted, so I decided to try a different area. Still out by Port Manatee. Everything seems good. So I can't complain. I've been throwing cut bait and getting hits here and there, but nothing good. And then I sent a live bait down and it got eaten immediately. Red grouper. This water temperature may have messed them up a little bit too, because it's 70 degrees where it was 78 last weekend. So I know the water temperature got up there and it dropped a lot when that cold front came through. So they may have a little bit of contributing factor for the slower bite, but so far so good. It's not like I thought it might be, where it would be pretty instant, but I'm happy with where I'm at right now. So all I'm doing is taking the huggy jig. This is the huggy jig that sits flat on the bottom like this, and I'm trying it out again, hooking it right through the top of the head, just like that, sending it down. Again, my position changed. Now we're sitting at almost directly north. So the boat shifted some, so I had to adjust the boat a little bit to get it right to go start off the ledge. Now if I was trying to anchor, it would be a nightmare. God. Good sign, folks. Really good sign. But so what it did is, before, when I set up at the other spot, my position was 80 degrees. But now that the tide has picked up just a little bit and it slid the boat a little bit to the side like this, so now I had to adjust my boat on the new spot and make sure that I was in a good setting. And now I'm at a heading of 0 degrees, which is north, due north, and the tide is coming in this way, so my bait's going this way, so I'm set up perfectly on the edge of the ledge. I'm gonna try live bait one more time and see if they hit it immediately like they just did on that one, and then I'll sound down a cut thread fin and see if they'll hit it, because they haven't been over aggressive on the thread or on the cut thread fins. So maybe they're keyed in on live white bait today. Come on. Ah. And beat them up pretty bad. Now let me try cut thread fin. What's nice in this spot is we are marking fish. There's definitely fish here, so that's good. We're only about maybe a mile and a half from the port. Ooh, they're on it immediately. God bless America. See, that time they were on the cut bait like almost immediately. Maybe it's because this tide is picking up. Come on, eat it. He ate it. Oh! I was not expecting that. All right, good deal, good deal. Let me put on another huggy. But I always feel my line too. I go up the line to feel if there's any other spots that maybe, like there's a little bit of fraying right there, so I'll cut it off there. All right, so what I personally like to use a perfection loop, which is you take it, you do an overhand loop just like that. You come through the eye of the jig, come back through that loop, wrap it around twice. Once, twice, and then back through the loop. And tighten it down and you're ready to go. Cut off the excess. And you're ready to go. Let's see if we can get another one. Now the funny part about this is that literally before those 2 live baits that I sent down, I was barely getting bit on the cut bait. But then the last, that cut bait that I just set down, he just railed me. That was a good fish. This feels like a snapper. Yes, it is. All right, so we've caught a gag, a red, and a snapper. So that's good. This is what we're wanting to see. I'm really happy. The water, like I said earlier, is milky, and the only reason why I think that it's milky right now is simply because this east-northeast wind that we've had for the last 4 days, 5 days. So it just stirs up that water, and it is what it is. I don't think that the port is affecting it. Like I said, I'm about 1.5 miles from the port, maybe a little bit more than that, but not much. I wanted to get as close. I might even go up into the port to see if I can catch any fish up there and see if I smell anything, see if I see anything. But fingers crossed, everything so far has been great. But you know, the reason why I did that video on the Friday fishing forecast is I wanted to bring the whole situation to light. There's been a lot of people that are saying, oh, it's just salt water, and the news is saying that it's mainly salt water that's coming out of there. There's 2 things that tell me no, it's not, or there is salt water coming out of there because of the old dredging program, but there is still acid and nitrogen in that water, and the acid level is pretty high from somebody that's testing the water right now on Sunday. So there's definitely some acid and nitrogen that's coming out in this flow. How much will it affect it? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. We'll just have to wait to see what the summer brings us. But for right now, the fish are biting. I caught bait. Bait was a little tough simply because the water temperature was down. But I'm going to check some areas and just go around and do some different things and just give everybody an outlook of what we're looking at. Right now, it seems like it's normal to me. So good. That's a good thing to see. Let's get back to fishing and see if we can get more. All right. Just as soon as I turned off the GoPro, it's fish on. Another snapper, I think. The way he's fighting. Oh yeah, good one. Good one. Good one. All right. Oh man, I wanted to show him. Okay, as you can see on the screen, we're sitting right as the lead starts to go off and drop down, and we're fishing the main shipping channel. And these fish, as you saw on the marks, there's a bunch of fish down there, and I think I'm getting them riled up with this cut bait. But the bite's been really good. Oh, there we go. You can tell they're snapper the way they're hitting it. Did he just steal my? Nope, he's on it. Yep. I think this is another snapper the way he's coming up into the water column. Yep, sure enough, another good snapper. Another decent Tampa Bay snapper. And that right there is what it's all about. Folks, again, the reason why I did the video on the Friday fishing forecast talking about the bad water is I wanted to open up people's eyes about it. It's because it's been glossed over for so long. They closed that plant in 1999 and nothing's been done to try to get rid of the water. And you know, there's some sources that are saying, well, it's purely salt water, when it's not. Get them off the bottom. So the fact is that when they're talking about that it's almost purely salt water, it's not. If it was, why do they still have a liner there? Why are they so concerned about dumping the water into Tampa Bay? That's because there's contaminants in that water that can cause a lot of different issues. So just take your due diligence, take time, to go and look into the matter and have a voice about it and see if we can't change this. Something's got to change, but it could possibly devastate this area, but at the same time, hopefully it doesn't. Right now, everything's really good, at least out in the main channel, catching beautiful fish. Can't complain about that. I'm not an activist by any means, don't really want to be, but I had so many people come to me and sorry. GoPro, turn off. GoPro, stop recording. All right, let me see if I can do that again without becoming a blubbering idiot. That's how important it is to me. I had a lot of people come to me and you know, send me messages and emails and about what was going on, and this was early in the week, and at first I was so busy I really didn't have a lot of time to take a look at it, and I didn't want to put a video out there until I did some really digging into it. And there's a lot of stuff that I found that it's pretty scary. It's very scary. And you know, if there's even a slight possibility that it could ruin these waters for a long time, or even for a few years, it shouldn't be. We shouldn't be in this position, flat out. We just shouldn't. We shouldn't even be talking about this. That should have been taken care of a long time ago. But it is what it is. And so anyway, if you're thinking about coming to Florida, if you're thinking about hiring a guide, if you're thinking about coming to the beaches and spending the money and coming down and enjoying our beautiful weather that we have, you can't beat Florida weather. I say, come on. The fishing's good, as you can see. I have a lot of guide buddies that they, you know, they're nervous, but at the same time, they're out running trips. They're still catching fish. So it's a good time to come down to Florida. As this video progresses, again, I'm going to give my honest opinion. Again, everybody has an opinion, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion on what I'm seeing, if I'm seeing anything negative or positive. Right now, we're seeing everything that's positive, which is really good. So anyway, getting off my soapbox. Don't want to be on a soapbox. As you saw, I just caught that nice gag, so I want to continue this. I'm catching some decent fish. So let's do it. Another nice gag. We're still keyed in on pinfish, I'm sorry, cut bait and white bait. Not a bad little gag. Go. There's a nice snapper. Caught him on our tiny jigs. It's what we call our, kind of like a yellowtail jig. This tide's going slow enough to where it allows me to do it. So this actually allows it to present a little bit more naturally. And so what I'm doing, I know you've seen me do this before, but I count off 10 or 11 different arm lengths, which is about 3 feet per. So I'm at 4 there. Bring it up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, since I'm sitting in 33 feet of water. So this bait is falling pretty naturally with that little light of weight. It's about 3/32 of weight that I'm using for this. So it's pretty light, but the hooks are really strong. So it takes patience, but a lot of times you catch some bigger fish doing this. And what you'll do in this is you'll watch your line and you also feel it. Once you get down to that level that you think you need to be, watch your line just like that and it gets bit. Another snapper. Yep, another snapper. Another decent snapper. We kept some of our biggest snapper doing this exact thing. I would have my limit by now. They're on it pretty quick. As soon as it gets to that level, they're on it. See if we can't get another one. Again, I drop it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll pull it up and get it almost tight. 5, 6, 7. Pull it up again, almost get it tight. 8, 9, 10. Pull it up. The wind doesn't help you very much, but so there's 11 right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm naturally going to let it float down, and then when it gets to that certain level, I'll get a little bit tighter with it. So you have to watch that line. You have to see if that line bounces. It's hard with the wind, but there he is. Almost, oh, son of a biscuit eater. Almost textbook, folks. So then I'll just, again, let it go out naturally. The tide is moving very little. I'm not even chumming. These fish are that fired up. I'm in the middle of the minor feeding time right now. So now I know that I'm going to come tight with it here shortly. So now I'm going to start watching my line to see if it bounces. Like right there, it bounced. Oh, that was a good fish. Wow. Oh, it broke me off. Son of a biscuit. But that right there is the fun of freelining. Because, man. That's what I'm talking about right there. I hate dealing with these guys. Not bad. They're getting bigger. And the snapper bite is on fire on this minor feeding time. Oh, there he goes. Right now we're in the middle of a minor feeding time and the bite is just unbelievable. This is what the ledge looks like on the side imaging. See, we're going down the ledge right now. That's what it looks like. See that edge? That's what we were fishing. So it looks like that, and then it looks like that. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go up to the port, kind of look around up there. The bite was on fire, and see what we can find. There's definitely bait at the markers. That's a good sign to see. Now we're gonna go up closer to the port, see what we can find. Another good sign. I'm up here at the port, maybe a mile away, not even a mile away from the port now, and the water is actually cleaner up here than it is out in the bay, out in the middle of the bay. And there's fish. This is the second fish I've caught. Caught a real small gag, and then I caught this guy. But that's a good sign. They're showing a ton of fish, and there's dolphins up here, and so I don't smell anything. But again, the wind's coming out of the east northeast, more northeast right now. But I don't see anything. I don't see anything bad. Water looks really good right up in here, actually. All right, the port is definitely alive, for sure. Good thing. I'm excited about what I'm seeing today. Well, folks, there's fish up at the port channel. I caught snapper, I caught grouper. I got broke off about 6 times by some big grouper. So anyway, I'm gonna go up towards the flats, check up there, see what we got. and go from there. Probably just head home after that if I just want to check some spots and see what we got. Now folks, I'm not seeing, the water is relatively pretty clear. I mean, I'm in about 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water, but I'm not seeing any signs of life. But that doesn't really mean anything because this water temperature is at 69, so these fish may have pushed back. But I'm not seeing anything bad. I'm not smelling anything. Now the wind direction is going out of the east-northeast, so it's pushing against the bank. But still, I'm heading up to Piney Point Creek right now. No, am I seeing any life, any mullet or anything else like that? No, but that doesn't, like I said, that doesn't mean anything. I've been on these flats many times when I haven't seen anything. So, but the water is actually really good, as you can see. It's pretty clean. Well, folks, I'm up here in Piney Point Creek. The water's crystal clear. I've seen snook, I've seen sheepshead, I've seen mullet, so it's looking like it's good to go. I'm real happy to see what I'm seeing, the clear water. I'm not smelling anything, I'm not seeing anything negative, so we might be good to go. Well, at least for right now, so it's good to see. Well, I've got to say that I'm extremely happy to see what I saw. You know, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that it will continue to stay like that. And maybe they capped it off soon enough. I think we're fortunate though. I think we were fortunate that this water temperature is lower than normal during this time of year. It just barely hit 70. So hopefully, maybe this water will dilute. And by the time it gets warm, it will be out of the system of the bay. That's what I'm hoping for. But anyway, as you saw, we caught a lot of fish. I caught a lot more than I even showed, and we missed some big fish. So I was extremely happy to see what we saw. Seeing those fish in the flats up in Piney Point Creek, that also got me pretty excited, just simply because I was a little worried. But once I got out there and I saw what the water was like and everything else, I thought maybe we're good to go. So it'll be a few months to see what happens, but at least right now the fishing's good. Get out there if you can. This looks like this whole week's gonna be good weather-wise. So get out there, enjoy it, and have fun. Again, thank you for all of the support. I was getting a ton of orders online when I was out there fishing. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody that responded to the Friday Fishing Forecast, that video. As again, I didn't want to sound like a Debbie Downer. I just wanted to let people know what was going on. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm going to continue to do what I'm going to do. Behind the scenes, though, I am going to work on this. I'm going to work on this hard because I don't want to see this fishery go away. I mean, too many people are out today enjoying it, and so hopefully we can do something about that in the near future. So again, thank you very much for all the support. I appreciate it. And you guys have a good rest of the weekend. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side.